Hey everyone, this is Tim here with Wholesaling PPC. Want to welcome Clint onto the call here today. Clint's been a very loyal customer. He's been with us. It's about our 1 year anniversary here, so super excited to
Yep.
have him. And I really
Happy
just wanted to,
anniversary. Happy anniversary, buddy.
I got to send you a gift, man.
Yeah, I
I got to
know.
send you something. Yeah, so we're really excited to get on the call and just have Clint share some about his business, his story, and his results with PPC. So all of you out there can know what the real deal is here with PPC, because I know there's a lot of misinformation out there. So, hey, Clint, do you want to just kind of give a background on your business, what market you're in and how you got started in real estate and kind of what maybe volume you're doing in general and where you operate and stuff?
Definitely. I'm operating in Omaha, Nebraska. I'm born and raised here. So my business partner and myself started investing in real estate in late 2014. And we were doing zero marketing. It was just kind of short sale deals that we were finding or kind of niche listings. My business partner is a real estate agent. So we kind of leveraged some of his relationships and networks to just get our first few deals and then started buying houses off Craigslist and for sale by owners. We didn't really start marketing until mid 2017. And we really went all in on cold calling, outbound marketing, and hired a bunch of callers and started to have some success and joined some mastermind groups and started traveling more to learn from other investors around the country and figured out that we need to do PPC. So we didn't really start doing PPC till probably 2017, 2018, late 2017, and found that it was just an awesome supplement to our business for maybe not a huge amount of deals and volume, but what I have found that our margin, our profit margins on our PPC deals were huge. Even the first few deals that we did, we were seeing 150% and sometimes 200% of our normal profit that we were getting on our direct mail deals or cold calling deals. So yeah, I've stuck with it ever since and understand that it's been a huge win for us, and want to figure out how I can just get more PPC deals. I love consistent flow every month from PPC, but when we get them, we jump right on them because we know they're a huge win for us. So our typical deal flow and the way that we operate our business, we get the last couple of years, we've hovered around 60 to 70 purchases a year, and we close on almost everything that we put under contract. So we don't wholesale, but we do wholesale a lot. So we close on the deals and then typically put them right on the market as is, just because we found that we can get, again, a greater return if we put the deal out to the masses. And then we also we leverage the BRRRR method and keep a large percentage of the houses that we buy, 25 to 35% of the deals that we buy, we keep and add to our rental portfolio. So that's been our big end game, is to build a massive rental portfolio. But the investing wheel feeds that really well, because obviously we can buy the houses for substantially lower than market and then refinance, pull all of our cash out and just keep repeating. So
Right.
that's a little bit about us. I don't know if that was too long of an intro, but either way.
No, that's awesome, man. And you're in the Omaha, right? Omaha,
Yep.
Nebraska market.
Yeah.
So what made you get into real estate in the first place? I know it seems like the end goal is like long-term rentals, right? Passive income, but
Yeah.
what brought you into real estate? What's the dream here?
I'm working a corporate job and, sitting in a cubicle, and it was a good job and almost enough to kind of keep me there for long term. But had always wanted to do something that was entrepreneurial. And I actually, I was working in California for a few years and then moved back to Omaha and made a bunch of money on the sale of my home in California. So I finally had a big chunk of change to invest and take some risk with. So that's when I partnered up with my best friend, and we did our first flip together. And I think we made like $11,000, but we were still really excited that
You
we
didn't lose
didn't
money
lose
on it.
money.
Yeah.
Yeah, we made $1, but that's really what got me jump started into it, was just having a little money and a little cushion to take some risk with and do my first deal. But all the while I had been listening to podcasts, Bigger Pockets and some of my other mentors in the space, just learning and, gaining confidence that, hey, I can do this, and I think it'll be a lot better than my cubicle job. So
Yeah.
that's what really got me going, was just some freedom to do what I wanted to with the hours that I have available in my life.
I'm so glad you said that. I mean, freedom is at the end of the day, the name of the game for me, at least, and, being in real estate. And after I had some success with my wholesaling business, the freedom in my life, being able to work when I want and do what I want, and still bring in the income, was just like life changing for me. And that's the reason why we even run this business, is because I want to help other investors gain more freedom in their life, or get, any freedom in their life if they don't have it right now. So that's great to hear that from you. And I
Yeah.
want to ask, like, how has your life changed since you've become successful in real estate, from having that corporate job, like just from a lifestyle standpoint? Is there anything significant that has,
Yeah, I mean,
impacted you?
I'm not living rich, but I
Yeah.
mean, I've certainly maintained my income and improved it since I left my corporate job. And the huge piece that it gives me is to know that, every month I'm adding a few houses to my rental portfolio, and we refinance out of them, and so we're highly leveraged. So it's not like we have huge cash flow every month, but I know that I'm building something for my future and for my kids' future. I have I'm in a blended family, so I have five of my own boys. I just had my fifth son last week, and I have two stepkids.
Oh,
So I have a
congratulations.
lot of people that I need to provide for, and that I want to be able to help pay for college or help support their future in whatever way I can. So that is a big driver for me. But as I add those rental houses, I know that that is very meaningful to my future. As we pay those down, pay off mortgages and cash flow. And so that's the big piece for me. But I love the freedom, like the really simple things, to be able to like not worry about if it's a Tuesday or a Thursday, if I want to like take off and go do something different. Or traveling has been a lot easier, not having to like worry about vacation days, or just simply wearing flip-flops into the office and not having to worry about if that's the appropriate dress code for the company that I'm working for. So a lot of the simple things are awesome. Or like being able to wake up in the morning and not have to be out the door at 7 a.m. to sit in traffic to go downtown to my job. It's like, instead I can help make breakfast with the kids and
Yeah.
watch them go out the door to school. And then I can, plan my day as I want to plan it. So I think that freedom of time has been the biggest change for me.
Dude, I love that, man. Are
Yeah.
there any like other aspirations you have in terms of like lifestyle or other things? Is it mainly more just like business building at this point, or other things you're trying
No,
to up
I
level?
mean, just small little goals, buy a couple of private jets, maybe buy an island somewhere in the Caribbean, like everybody else, right? That's what we
Yeah.
all want to do. No, I want to travel more. Don't we all?
Yeah.
And so
Especially
I
now,
think
right?
that yeah,
Yeah.
especially now, but this business, I think being in something like this where you can be pretty hands off if you build the right team, and we have that team in place. We have some acquisition managers and a full-time project manager for the flips and the rehabs that we're doing. So building a business that can kind of run itself allows you even more freedom to be gone and to be absent and still have the business running. So there's always more that we want to do, and systems and processes that we can put in play to make it better. But yeah, don't we all
Don't
just
we
want to
all?
travel? Yeah.
Yeah, so let's dive into some PPC here, switch gears a little bit. So what, in your experience, I know you touched on it a little bit, but PPC, so you do PPC right now, you do direct mail and cold calling still. Those are the three main avenues.
Yeah, and we're doing lots of other little niche things here and there. We've done some voice broadcast stuff through our a calling system that we've used. I do some radio ads here locally, just because again another mentor was having a lot of success with radio. And every year there's probably two or three new little niches that we try to get into, or different avenues of marketing, just to see if we can again generate more leads. But yeah,
Gotcha.
cold calling, direct mail, PPC, those have been my mainstays for the last 2.5, 3 years.
So what do you find about PPC leads and PPC deals that are different than your other marketing channels, if anything?
I think I mentioned that our PPC deals have a much higher return. And of course, there's usually other people in your market. If somebody fills out a web form, they might fill out two or three more. So obviously, naturally you have to be on that appointment quick. You have to be on that phone call right away. The relationship piece is important. The trust piece is important during the appointment, to lock those deals up. So they're a bit more competitive, but typically you're not competing with as many people. At least in my market, when we're going on a PPC lead, they may have had, or they're going to have, one or two other wholesalers or investors out to their house to make an offer. So we found that if we can really focus on building the relationship on that first appointment, being prompt on our callback, or our answering the call, however the lead comes in, we've had tremendous success with PPC.
So for anyone who's listened to our other case study calls, every single one we've had, all of our clients say the same thing, that it's so important to get on top of the lead right away, that they're super hot, and that you need to really almost be the first ones on the appointment. And you can't call them back 6 hours later. You need to get on the phone with them as soon as possible, right? That's such a theme we've seen, and we cannot stress enough how important it is to do that. So talking about the numbers a little bit, I know we dive into this before the call started, but in general, in your business, what is your average profit per deal, you'd say, across all your channels?
I think when blended, it's around low 20s. I think it's around 22,000 right now.
Gotcha. And I think we went over PPC, and it's, upwards of 30.
Yeah, we're over 30,000 over the last 12 months, working with you guys. And again, that's, the deal flow isn't what I want it to be, but when they come in and we convert one, we know that it's going to be good. So that's been a huge win for us.
Yeah, and that's the thing, and that's, we're completely transparent about, right? So Clint's been with us about a year, and he's closed 5 or 6 deals with us in total. Over $100,000, it may be closer to like 120 grand in net profit, which is awesome, right? That's why he's still a client with us. And ad spend wise, he's spent only about $15,000 in actual ad spend, and then our fees on top of it. You're looking at 20 grand in total, but you're making 5 or 6 times on your money. But at the end of the day, right? So Clint's in Omaha, which is a smaller market, right? It's not Phoenix or Atlanta. So we're trying to get the deal flow up from like 5 or 6 deals a year. We're trying to double it to 12 deals a year. But it is a challenge, right? When you're in a smaller market, we're doing the best we can while trying to provide the best ROI. So happy to hear you say that, Clint. Of course, we're trying to get you more deals.
I'll take a 5-time multiplier on my investment any day. So, and I think my average is probably closer to like a 4, $4 in every $1 spent for marketing. So, you're beating out my blended average. So again, I want to double down on PPC, figure out how we can keep that deal flow up. Yeah. I want more deals.
So, and you touched on that. You started doing PPC back in 2017. Were you doing it yourself in-house? Did you have another company that you were working with at the time?
Yeah, we bounced around. I think I've had a couple different companies do it for me. And, I have like this, I get impatient after like 6 or 8 months if I don't see leads coming in and my costs are still going up. So experienced that, I think twice now with some of the other providers that I've been using, where costs just kept increasing and they were maxing out my budget every month, and I wasn't seeing any improvement in deal flow or leads. So it was just simply increasing my cost per click. But what I've noticed with you guys, which I really appreciate, is you're not like blowing out my budget every month. In fact, you're typically staying well under it, to the point where I'm surprised. I'm asking like, well, can you spend more money? Can I spend more money to get more leads? But it just shows that you're, being fiscally responsible with my money and my budget to try to really maximize my spend.
And that's the danger when you're diving into the PPC like agency world and you're trying to decide who to work with. There are a ton of companies out there, and it's really hard to know like which ones are legit or not. We're investors, me and my partner Tyler as well. We're both in the game and we understand how it is, and ROI is the name of the game. And a lot of agencies, especially if they're not like in the real estate space and they're just more general companies, their focus is, hey, how can I spend his budget, right? And whether it's $2,000 or $10,000, they'll spend it for you. ROI might be kind of secondary. So that's definitely, you gotta be careful.
The other upside to making the transition to you guys when we did, I think that the previous management, the monthly management fee, and I'm not trying to give you guys an opportunity to increase your prices, but it was double. It was double what you charge.
Yeah.
So, and we weren't, it wasn't justified. I mean, we weren't seeing the results. So I think that's how you guys gain trust and gain clients is you do business the right way and you deliver results. So that's why I'm not going to go anywhere and want to figure out how to just do more with you guys.
So to summarize that, we charge half as much. We brought you more deals and we spend less of your budget than the other companies you've worked with.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Correct.
Interesting.
Good summary.
Awesome. Yeah, man. So is there anything that you could tell people about, PPC or otherwise, if they're kind of on the fence and not sure if they want to get into it, kind of what next steps they could take or things to watch out for?
Yeah. I mean, I think everybody knows who to call. Right here.
I'm not paying him to say this.
Yeah. Not being paid for this, but I mean, I am not technically savvy. So there was no way that I was going to go try to figure this out on my own. And frankly, it's not the highest and best use of my time to figure out the back end and the keywords and all the things that need to happen to run my own campaign, in terms of website management. And so for me, it was just a no-brainer to figure out who I should be working with and partnered with to get the deal flow. But yeah, for me, I did not want to be a one-trick pony. And when we started out marketing, we were just doing one thing. We're just doing outbound calling, and it just felt it caused some insecurity because if it's not going well, then you have no deals. Right. So it makes sense to do this because you cover a different audience than what may the people who may be answering your direct mail or responding to outbound cold calling. It's just a different audience, and you're going to be reaching obviously way more people in this avenue. So again, not being technically savvy, farm it out to the best people who know what they're doing, and then get results. So
and you can focus on what you do really well, which is run your business and close dozens of deals, and let us sit behind the dashboard and fiddle around on our keyboards,
Exactly.
Awesome. And I want to make a note. So, because Clint's been with us a year now, when we first started the campaign, like last August, for the first couple of months, it was slow. Like there was no deals at all. And I know we're almost at a point where we were like, hey, is this going to work out? And because you had the mindset up front of, hey, I'm going to give it at least 6 months before I come to any conclusions. Around probably like maybe the 5th month is when you close your first deal or something. And it was like a $30,000 deal and it paid for the campaign. Even that one deal would have paid for the campaign up until now still. Right. Yep. But if you just signed up and said, hey, let me try this for 2 months or 3 months, you might have quit and you might not have gotten any of these deals, and $100,000 you never would have saw it, would have went to someone else in your market. So it's important to keep that in mind, when you're doing PPC. And we've just seen a lot of other investors struggle with this, kind of like you were bouncing around before. Granted, the agencies were no good, right? That makes it tough. But when you're going into PPC, you need to have the mindset of, hey, I need to stick with it at least for 6 months, right? Because all you need is one whale of a deal. And PPC, there's tons of whales of deals out there. The leads are so high quality. So stick with it. Clint's case study is a testament to sticking with it. Things pick up. And even if you get one deal 5 months later, it could, your ROI could still be amazing. So I'm glad. I appreciate you sticking with us, through that 6 month tough period.
Hey man, I'll be here for a while.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think you guys are paid through the next couple of years. So I won't be going anywhere.
Yeah. It sounds like we should raise our prices. I don't know, guys.
You better not.
I'm just kidding. Well, any final thoughts while we wrap this up here, Clint?
Oh man, I appreciate the opportunity to be on the call. And again, I'll shameless plug for you. Call Tim, call Tyler. It has been awesome working with you guys the last 12 months, and let's string some more of these together, some more months and years together, and keep the deals going.
The goal is to have another case study call at our next 2-year anniversary, talking about how we've doubled your deal volume.
Yes.
Right. That's the
that
goal.
Would be a fun call. Let's do that. Or tripled if you don't mind.
Yeah. I'll work on it. Awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks so much, Clint, man. I appreciate it.
Thanks for the call.
Take it easy.
We'll see you.